let's continue our chat. Okay, so do you have any... Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on... No way, that's too risky. You mean it'd be too No, it's not that. We shouldn't have... Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people. That's a good point. Spoken like the guy... We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know any... After all... I've already tried that. But all the key members of the Academia, even the core 30 guards, it seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info.
Have you already caught the sage's attention?
I'm guessing not yet. But distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to the urban legends about me. In any case, I probably can't take over their minds directly.
Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have some...
According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan...
Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas seriously.
Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people involved, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to side with the sages.
You're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named
Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still remember that female scholar named Sataria?
Sataria. Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who's always trailing behind the Grand? We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival. Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always spoke to Nilou.
I've always liked observing all. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert.
The name Sataria means star. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. Soon after, the star began to waver. But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Sataria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the Academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? She's just running away from her problem.
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be... She's suppressing a lot of guilt. But before she realized it, she had already become the right. That way, not only from my past observations, Sataria will take a day off from the Academia tomorrow afternoon just happens to prepare. Let's go check out some of her favorite... This should be Sataria's favorite fortune-telling spot.
So should we
No, I already have enough information on Sataria.
Talking style and key characteristics?
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed...
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to her?
Shh. My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. Can we get a fortune reading for him?
Of course, of course. In that case... It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps, at some time in the past, you have somehow offended the gods.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the Lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Love prospects? No problem at all. The one who is fated to cross your path will appear on Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation of today's...
Is that so?
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your...
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls?
Yep. It belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Samari City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers! Would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine?
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for him. After that, I began making pottery.
That's nice. You're making a living doing some...
So is your father still working as a mason?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retired life in Porto.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave you to it. Take care now.
No problem. Rest.
You're in for a little shock.
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of...
Nahida, you've really...
It's my duty to protect Samari's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before. Huh? Sorry. If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
That's right. After all, I grew up in Liyue, but I'm still...
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing.
Sure.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard of it.
That's right. It's not usually open to...
I see. Guess that makes sense.
Thank you so much. Come a little closer.
So, was that everybody? What's the point of all the information?
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems. So we must... I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos are all making... Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. You want to... Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages.
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's belief, but if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to...
So, you mean...
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to... As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure.
So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people.
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh? Best of luck?
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also...
That is pretty convenient.
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painful, yeah?
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to...
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it.
Alright, then... Here she comes. Satori is here. Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her, as for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll...
Looks like they've already started talking. Let's...
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me is a... are you still listening?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking...
Okay then. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they?
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today? You must have come for another...
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll...
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods are asking, Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone... home?
Sataria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be truly upset.
I'm sorry. And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? No wonder. Even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How could...
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa! She just ran up.
Well done. Sataria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand human emotions really well after.
All I know are some abstract Harava-taught theories. In any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly useless. I'm still trying to make sense. Anyway, enough of that.
He's out of Keem's now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you gardening? But don't you hate everything to do with plants? I still...
You see, a friend told me that the secret to self-improvement is to work on things you're not so good at.
Fair enough. Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I've been... Actually, while we're talking about him...
Yeah, He's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the... He has a quick temper, and has always been a devout...
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or the Scarlet King? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert. Yet you...
Akeem! You don't mean... You've also become a...
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this.
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. But once everything is over...
Come on! Sataria's already started talking.
So, Shishan, have you like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. Speaking of strange thing, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I...
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing in the
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly
Shishan, don't tell me that...
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed?
Please, please stop!
Even now, Sataria's still trying to run from her problem.
She can no longer justify every...
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards!
This is the most important part of all.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message.
Please, try to remain calm, Miss.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him.
Miss Sataria, nothing is impossible.
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal, and all you must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, child of the Scarlet King. Never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I've also been running, but no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always...
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. That's not important. The important thing, if you could provide some assistance in this matter...
I've actually never believed in the gods, but Please tell me, what can I...
How much do you know about the Sage's current...
I was just one of the designers for the masked dream, but I know very little about the full scope of the overall I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city.
To fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work.
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The Sage... let me see... let's use the most primitive method.
The Academia entrance.
Don't worry about that. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia.
All right.
So,
that'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have... Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe...
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. Well, Now that we've made plans to meet
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. That's right. I suppose I'm the other
Shh! We're on a secret mission to...
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot... If something were to happen, my existence... After all, the academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my consciousness in the outside.
Yep. Exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Off? What do you feel is up? It's the middle of the night.
No, I think he's right. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets.
Huh. Maybe it's just a coincidence.
I also can't quite figure out why things feel...
Well, regardless. There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the academia, and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards. People doing here at this hour of the night?
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
Oh no! What should we do? These are all just regular people!
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
But that guy's a Fatui Harbinger! We can't just leave you here!
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru! Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the God of Wisdom.
Is Nahida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new... He called himself the Doctor, and that even the sages are wary of him. Yep, yeah. Now But what are the Fatui after... Yeah. Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited? Even though he turned it down at the time, there's no time to lose.